making a first-person character controller without writing a single line of code. Hello guys, Pratangsu here, and you are watching our Pratangsu Dev. In today's episode, we are going to create a first-person character controller. For getting started, create a new scene, and then in that scene, create a plane and a cylinder. Drag the cylinder on top of the plane, select the cylinder again, and then add a rigid body, and then add a flow machine. In the flow machine, select macro, click new. For now, I'm going to create a new folder called macros. Open that folder and then type the name of the macro you want to give. For now, I'm typing first person and click on save. Now click on edit graph and edit the graph. In the graph, you will find two components we have discussed about in our part 1 of this bold visual scripting series. Yeah guys, so guys my recording got closed automatically, so I can't help that. In that time I have created two variables, and now let's look in the code side. For the beginning, add a sequence. Connect the sequence with the input.getAccess with the access name of horizontal, and then another input.getAccess name vertical. Now if you didn't know about the accesses, go to edit, preferences. No, sorry. Go to edit, project settings, and then input manager. In there you can look at all the accesses. I'm using these two because they are for the movement. Like these are for firing, this is for jump, these two are for getting mouse X and Y, mouse wheel, and there are something more. And after that, add a variable or player speed variable, connect it with him, multiply its speed, and connect it again. Connect the other one also. Connect both of those to create a new vector 2, and then add it to our input vector 2, and then add a fixed update connected to the set velocity, create a vector 3, and then get our input variable connected to get y and then get x, and get fixed delta time so that our movement does not get affected by our frame rate. Add a multiply and connect it to the create vector, and then do the same for the get y axis. And right now the main stuff of is done. Before trying out, we're going to get our velocity and get our y and connect it to that so that our falling and everything works. Now before playing, select as player. In my case it is a cylinder, and then get down to the rigid body and then freeze its rotation in X and Z so that it doesn't fall down. And now if you play, wait for it, and yeah, you are unable to see anything on the camera. So get there, and then now see, you are moving. Over here you can check that. See, wait, let me go ahead and put my camera a bit down so that our cylinder is visible. Now see, if I click there, we are actually moving. Anywhere we click. Now our movement is completed, but still our mouse Our camera is not rotating and our camera is not with the cylinder. So at first, put the camera under the cylinder. That means the cylinder is the parent of the camera. Now in the camera, reset its transform, and now it is looking from the cube's perspective, from the cylinder's perspective. Now put your camera a bit above so that you look from the cube's head. And for now, we are just going to rename our cylinder to player and our plane to ground and our camera to viewpoint 1. Yeah, so this is it for our movement. Now for making our camera move left and right, we need two variables. First is mouse X and the second is mouse Y. Add them, give them both of them float. Nice. We are just going to use the mouse X for the left and right movement. For that, create a object with, yeah, I'm going to zoom in the object, input.get access, and then type the access mouse X. If you have any problems, like if you rotate like this and doesn't work, then make sure to check your input manager again. In mine it is something like this. You can also change it if you want. Now let's back in the topic. Add input.get access and add our get our mouse X. Now what are we going to do? We are going to sum both of the values. Wait, that is the sum. Wait, over here. Add and then add both of those in there. And now set it with our, now see over here you can see that it is get mouse X. Click alt and then it will be set and then drop it. Now connect it to there. So what are we doing over here? When like our mouse is supposed to move in the right, we move our hand, we move our cursor to the right. When I move our cursor to the right, it its value sets to 1. Now if it is 1, then it will just stay in one place and be a lot junky. So if you now set it to him, it will be clear. Now I can remove the power from here and drop it over there. Now it's good. Now for our player movement, we need to get, yeah, transform, get local ural angle. Wait. Yeah, sorry. Set local URL angle. Now in there, we are going to create a new vector 3 with new vector 3. And as we are going to rotate in the Y, like around, for that we are going to, sorry, get the mouse X, drop it there, and then drag it to the mouse Y. And give the flow to him. Now this thing is done. This thing might work. Let's check it out. Wait. And yeah, see, we can now look around, walk, and do whatever we want. Oops, I fell down. So now we have checked that this is working. Next up, we are going to look mouse up and Y move. Mouse up and down movement means the Y move. So for the mouse Y movement, we need to add another sequence, connect one flow to there, and the and I'm not going to connect now. Next, dot get access. Access name will be mouse Y, and then get the mouse Y variable, and then for this we added stuff, but for this we need to subtract, and then connect both of those, and then set this alt, and then drop it. Get to the last one, and it's done. Earlier, if you look, it is something like this, but now we will add it. Local angle looks something like this, and then now in the Y, we don't want to rotate our player, or else the player will fall. Like take a look. If we rotate our player, it will fall. This will happen if we put it to self. So that's why we need to put it to our camera. So type camera dot get main. So it will get the main camera. But here you can take it is tagged main camera. Now connect it. And then for this again we are going to create vector 3, get our mouse Y, and for this we want the rotation to happen in the X axis, and it's done it. Pass the flow there and set the flow to there. Done. Now you can take a look. See, splitting up and down. Now guys, if you take a look, our mouse is going off camera very soon. And if you don't want that, we are going to hide our camera, hide our mouse. So now let's see how we can hide our cursor. At first, create a start and start event. You can drag and drop it anywhere in the scene and type cursor set lock state. Click there and the lock state select locked and you are done. Now let's see what we have made. Right, yeah. See, our mouse is not moving. We can move around perfectly. Also walk and yeah. This is it for this video.